Hey everyone, so this week's Bible story is the Good Samaritan, which is from Luke 10:25-37. So we have a really fun, our first activity is really fun. You'll have a bottle in your rooms that has hydrogen peroxide in it. So what you're gonna do first is just add some food coloring. You wanna add, you don't have to add like an insane amount, but add a good amount of food coloring, and then you're gonna want about a tablespoon of dish soap. I'm just gonna do a nice good squirt of dish soap in there. And then you just wanna take and swirl that around. Make sure it's all mixed up good. And then you've got, you'll have a little Dixie cup and some warm water. Actually, I'm gonna pour the yeast in there first, and a packet of yeast. So you're just gonna pour the yeast into your Dixie cup. Get some warm water in there. I'm not a big fan of measuring, so we're just gonna eyeball it. And then you're gonna mix that. You wanna mix it for about a minute or so. Make sure that you get the yeast mixed in really good, otherwise it'll just be like a blob at the bottom of the cup. So you wanna get it nice and mixed in. And so in our story with the Good Samaritan, see how the yeast will kind of blob up. So you want to get that mixed into your water. But the Good Samaritan, he was like the last person that anybody expected to actually show kindness in the story. You would have expected the priest or the Levite to show kindness, but it was the Samaritan, the enemy of the Jewish person, that was actually the one that showed kindness. And so we're gonna try to have a really good discussion about, what ingredients are needed to show kindness, so maybe that is, the answer is vary, but like definitely one should be like the Holy Spirit. When Jesus, when we're followers of Jesus, when we have the Holy Spirit, that allows us to show kindness better. And so eventually you'll get to the point where you're going to dump your yeast in, and then you'll have, and this is elephant toothpaste, the other one thing it's called. And so then you talk about how you've got kindness, but we've got to make our kindness just overflow. That, the priest and the Levite, they probably had some kindness in them, right? But they weren't overflowing it onto other people. They weren't loving other people the way they should have. And so we've got to show kindness when we can. And so this will just be a really fun activity that our goal is to have our kindness overflowing onto others all the time. And so, last week's example of going the extra mile, that's also just showing that overflowing kindness. So Jesus really wanted us to understand that he wanted us to just be overflowing kindness onto everyone. So you'll have a lot of fun with that, of course. And then if you have a little bit of extra time, you can just make these, basically you'll just trace your hands and, whoops, I dropped my string, but then just take a small piece of yarn. So trace and cut out their hands. I would pair them up so that they have a partner to help trace hands, or else you can help them. And then they cut them out, put them together, and then they'll have a little one that says helping hands, one that says show Jesus's love. And so they could just hang that somewhere to remind them that what we should be doing with our hands is helping others and showing others Jesus's love. And so just have a good discussion about that as well. Thanks for all that you do. Have fun with your overflowing kindness.